Welcome to the number one faith-based motivational and inspirational broadcast platform in the country, GMAP Radio TV Broadcast Network. Yours truly, doing what I do because I love what I'm doing right here on the GMAP Broadcast Network today. Again, as I said earlier, one of our featured authors is here, Sam Carnes, and of course he's going to tell us a little bit about, who he is and what he's doing. I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm just not going to do it. I just got to invite him into the fold because I believe he's ready. I don't know. Let me find out. Sam, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
I just tickled me pink. I tell you. Well, welcome, first of all, to the GMAP Radio TV Broadcast Network, and I am so honored. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I am just overwhelmed with joy that you have taken time out to be here with us. Number one, on today. Number two, to be a part of our broadcast network family. I recall speaking to you, and I let you know. I said, Sam, we are more like a wide open, network. We do have limits, but we offer a variety. We're not one dimensional. You embrace that, and I thank you for that. And I want all of our viewers and listeners around the world, our partner networks, Comcast Cable, Roku, Apple Fire TV, God bless you as well. iHeartMedia Radio family want to check in with us also on this afternoon. Thank you all so much for doing that. And, of course, as I promised you, I said I'm going to do everything I can to try to get this outstanding author in the mix. So with that being said, I want you to just simply come on, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Who is Sam Carnes?
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. I have to say this is my first time on a radio program, so
wait
for me.
So you're telling me I'm making history right now?
I suppose so.
Oh, that's pretty good. Wait, let me embrace the moment. Okay, all right, let's go. All right, who are you? Introduce yourself.
So my name is Sam Carnes, and I've been writing for a while now. It's not what I do as a full-time thing. It's more of a hobby. I would like it to become more, of course, and the more books I write and the more my name gets out there, hopefully I can do more and more with that. I actually work in the healthcare profession full-time, so writing is something I do in the nights and weekends and things like that. Before I really started putting down these fictional stories, I'd had the idea for my first story for many, many years before I actually put pen to paper. But so a little bit about me. I live in Kentucky and have a orange cat named Mango, and I live here with my husband Sandro. And so let's see. I guess that's originally I came from Indiana, went to college there, moved around a few places, and this is kind of where I ended up here in Kentucky. So,
wow. Well, again, thank you so much for being here with us on today. And of course, it's always an honor when we get the opportunity to have individuals stop by and, tell us a little bit about what they're doing. For those that don't know, Sam is one of our featured authors on the GMAP Radio TV Broadcast Network. All you got to do is simply stop by our platform, GMAP1.com. Click on the tab that is simply titled Featured Authors, and you will see not one, not two, but three of the current publications. And I am honored to show them to you. A Song from Mary. It's going to be one of those publications that you will see placed in that area, and I'm grateful for that. And of course, publication number 2, The Assembly of the Oh man, I just really, I'm intrigued. I want to find out more about this particular publication, as well as the third publication that's listed there, Skin in the Game, the Hooded Warrior Spy. I want to, I just want to embrace him. I'm encouraging each and every one of you embrace them as well. I want to find out exactly what they're all about, where they can be purchased, and how we can in fact learn a little bit more. But we're going to dive right in first and foremost, because I want to learn about the actual current publication that's out there. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is a song for Mary. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, that is the current publication that you have released right now, Sam?
Yes, that is the most recent one.
Tell us a little bit about it, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. So this book, so I've always loved historical fiction, and it's something that I've always enjoyed reading myself. So when I write a book, I want to write a book that I would enjoy reading. So the idea of this book is set in a time of Mary Tudor, who was queen in the 1550s. But this is set just slightly before that. She's still a princess. She has her own court, but she's been kind of cast aside by her father, Henry VIII. And so she's in a remote place in Wales, close to Wales. And the book begins with her trying to hire some musicians for her court. Actually, there's one position. And as when one of the main characters arrives, there's not a whole lot of people going, because it's not a super prized position, because her standing with the king is not the greatest at that time. Anyway, moving forward, I kind of have a brief synopsis on the back, and it says she's one of the characters doesn't sing very well, but plays the lute amazingly. The other one can play all right, the viola da gamba, which is kind of a forerunner to the cello, and but he sings amazingly. So she decides to choose both musicians, one who plays the music really well and one who sings really well. So as as the story goes on, these two musicians, there's a little bit of rivalry there, because they both wanted to be the sole musician, and so they both kind of feel like, oh, now it's been, I'm only half a musician, so to speak. And it turns out that these characters, the two musicians, they're both gay, and so it kind of shows how they navigate this experience of being gay in this time and place. Obviously it was a very different environment for gay people. In the end, the story is a gay romance set in this time period. So, it's as you go through the story, are they going to be able to work out this rivalry? Or, are they going to keep their jobs as musicians? What's going to happen? So that's basically what this story tells.
Interesting. And how we get that dun 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 dun. We got that at this moment. I just wasn't able to give it to you in some sort of sound effect. But I'm sure it's a very interesting publication. I'm excited to encourage all of our viewers and listeners around the world to simply go out, show their love, care, concern, and support. Purchase a copy. Find out what yourself, how it all, comes out. And I got to ask, what in this particular issue, and of course, we're going to be doing a follow up conversation with, we have quite a few books to cover today. I want to really focus on the current publication that you have released. What what was the writing process like? I mean, was it a difficult task? Is it something that you had to, I guess you can say, proofread a million times before you make the decision? What was the writing process like during this writing of this publication and the release?
Well, I think it's kind of a interesting thing, and I'm sure every writer has their own specific things that they do or don't do. For me, I always like to start with an outline and kind of look at, okay, chapter one, and I'll put like a brief paragraph or so of what I want to talk about in this chapter, and then I'll go through and kind of outline the chapter of my book that way, until I get to the end of the story. Then I start writing, starting with chapter one. It's like I start going through and taking what I had said I wanted to talk about in chapter one, the part of the story I wanted to cover, and then I will go kind of keep expanding on that, and I'll keep working on getting that chapter to the whatever length I want to make the book. As I progress then to chapter two, I'll do the same thing and so on and so forth. Sometimes as I'm writing, though, I will find that, okay, I need to really split this chapter into two. It's getting too long. Or sometimes it'll take me in this direction or that direction, and a part of the story I kind of unfolds that I didn't originally think of. So the story can sometimes expand in the telling. So once I've finally gotten all of that set, then I start reading through it, and really starting the editing. I'll go through, I'll read it. Did I need to change, anything? Maybe a word here, a word there. Maybe, I want that to be a little more intense. So I'll change a word, because it can be, whatever it is, the way someone says, he said, can become, he said breathlessly, or whatever, just can kind of really change the sense of what you're, of that particular story. And so I'll read through that and do that. Then as I continue doing that, and it's like, okay, so I'm sometimes whole sentences are taken out, whole sentences are added in, sometimes paragraph, it's kind of a add and delete kind of process. Once I've done all that, I kind of the editing is a big is a big part of it. So after doing all of that editing, then I'm going through that same chapter again, whereas I'm kind of looking at now more the, okay, is everything what do you call it? The chapter is set in its story, but now I need to make sure, is everything spelled correctly? Is the punctuation correct? And sometimes anybody who's a writer, I'm sure, can relate. Sometimes you agonize over, should I put a comma here or should I not? And because sometimes the rule books don't all agree, and a comma here might change the sense of what you're trying to say, and so you kind of really agonize over doing that.
Wow.
Once I've done it to the best of where I'm at, then I'll run it through the one of the Grammarly software, that'll check for me anything that I've missed, and And again, it gives suggestions, and sometimes it'll change things like from passive voice to active voice, but you can choose each and um, every change they make. So I
Right.
don't always accept everything because sometimes it changes how I want it to sound. But
Right.
it's nice to see because sometimes it picks up on little things um, that you may have missed.
Now, let me ask you this. You look over the process.
Hmm.
You see what you have gone through in order to initiate even the thought of releasing your publications, plural,
Hmm.
and you look over the process and you get to where you are right this moment. Of course, that would be here on the GMAP Radio TV Broadcast Network. My history making moment with you, doing your very first live on air conversation. And of course, it's with yours truly. When you look back over the entire process, you have any idea what's next for you?
Well, I have some more books in the process. Um, I guess that's one of the things is I'm not I usually don't work on just one at a time. I have more than one in various stages of development. Um, so it's definitely going to be some more books coming for
Now,
sure.
now, I am aware. I don't know about the other individuals out there in the world, our viewers and listeners. Again, we are grateful that you are one of our featured authors, Sam, on the GMAP Broadcast Network. We're encouraging all of our viewers and listeners to stop by our platform. Take a look. GMAP1.com. Click on the tab that is simply titled Featured Authors. And again, you'll see a copy of the current publications that Sam has released out there. And one of them I'm excited about. He has quite a few of them, and I'm showing a variety of them as we go on because I don't want you to get sidetracked and just believe that there's just one. But again, we are grateful for the actual latest release, a song from Mary. But again, I'm showing quite a bit of some of the other ones that I am intrigued about as well. And I want you to go and show your love, care, concern, and support and purchase a copy of all of them and then share the information with all of your followers, your family, your friends, and all of that. And of course, I know that this is going to be, I don't want to congest things for me. I don't want to congest things for Sam. I don't want to congest things for anybody because I want him to be able to come on and basically take his time. So I'm going to of course hope and pray that we could have, I want to say, a couple of conversations in this case, because it's going to be very important that people receive the opportunity, the chance to really hear you out and not be forced and congested with a lot of information. So I'm going to ask if we are going to be able to invite you back, maybe on a consistent basis for a couple of weeks to go through each and every one of your publications. Because let me tell you, Sam, why I want to do that. Okay, the reason being there's some very important information that you're going to be sharing with us here in the future about some of the content of your publication. And I want people to focus on what it is you're sharing and not get them confused. We're talking about not one, not two, but three different publications. But it could become a little congested and confusing if you understand what I'm saying. And I want to be able to make sure, because I don't do this just for entertainment. I do this because I want to be very particular about the information that's being shared, because there's someone out there right now that's embracing the information that you have to share in this publication as well as what you'll be sharing in the future. Now, I don't want to cross my boundaries, so to speak. So I gotta present it to you and say, it's something that we're going to have to itemize and construct and organize. But I want to invite you back. I don't care if it's 3 weeks, 4 weeks in a row, on the same day, at the same time, at the same moment, inviting you to come on and share one of your next publications. But I want to ask you publicly and personally, would that be possible? And if so, okay with you?
I would love to come back and talk some more about my books. I'm always happy to be talking about my writing. So
Yeah, and I'm hoping that you can understand why I'm asking you that question. But I mean, I don't want to overlook the fact that I at least want to give you the opportunity to introduce your previously written publications to the people. So why don't you give us a list and share the names of these publications, just in case someone wants to go out and take and do a little research and find them on places like Amazon and so forth. Why don't you share that
okay.
information with us?
Okay, yeah. Let me. So the three books that we have, we talked about the first one, the Song for Mary. It's the most recent one, and I want to encourage, if people go and purchase the book through Amazon, and then when you read it, please, hopefully you'll leave a review. When people leave reviews, I read the reviews. I enjoy hearing the parts that people didn't like or the parts that they did like. I mean, what they liked about the book, what caught their interest. I mean, I like hearing all of that stuff. I also have an author page on Facebook that where I talk about the books I'm working on, upcoming writing projects, and things like that. So if you want to follow that page as well, it's basically at Facebook, and then it's my name. So Sam Carnes, author, like written as all one word. So that's also a place where you can find it. And I always post links to where my books can be found there as well, in case you forgot where you first heard about them. But so after talking about the A Song for Mary, so let me talk about my the book, The Assembly of Magic: The Story of Mirrodin and Ancient Atlantis. This is a book I'm really excited about. The plan for this book is to be a multi-book series. So when I mentioned earlier, I have future books in the works. I already have um, volume. It's going to be kind of funny. Volume 3 is basically completed. Volume 4 is on its way. Volume 2, I'm still working on. So that's like one of the main things I'm working on now is Volume 2 of this Assembly of Magic book. So this book is one that I'm really excited about. I like reading fantasy and mythology kind of thing. Any story or movie or TV series that has the name Atlantis in it always grips my attention. So I wanted to make a story set in this time. But I've made the island my own. The way magic works and things like that is of my own creation. And the characters are, I've gotten to really know and love my characters the more I write about them. It is another gay romance. They're in the series, basically, magic works through knowledge. So by learning more about something, they're able um, to do what I term energy binding, in a way to make things happen in the series. But it involves a lot of research. It's not just like a snap of the fingers. It requires knowledge and education and research into something, to be able to understand how to do things. Um, so in this book, uh, you see travels around the island of Atlantis. The main character, Mirrodin, grows up. He has close friends, falls in love. Clearly, it's a gay romance story, so that's not really giving anything away. Uh, but the story is going to continue through the history of Atlantis, and future books will go beyond Atlantis. Um, One of the things that I want to mention, one of the messages that I have worked a long time in a volunteer basis of trying to educate people against circumcision. There's no like healthcare benefits to it, despite the propaganda and hype. It's a lot of misinformation. And I've written some more educational books in that on that topic. But I thought to myself, just as someone who is gay personally, gay representation in art, literature, movies, books, that's all important. And so I thought, you know what? Any book I've read, any story or whatever, whether there's a sex scenes or just talking about things, they never ever mention the foreskin, at least not that I've really come across. So I wanted to do basically, I call it the unique niche in gay literature that I wanted to fill was I wanted to have foreskin representation. So each of my books in some way or another is going to like have foreskin pride or happiness that someone is uncut, uncircumcised, intact. People use various words to describe that. And so the characters are going to throughout the story there will be encounters and things like that where maybe they come across someone trying to promote circumcision, and so they're going to teach and explain to this group why there's no reason to do it and why they shouldn't be doing it. And then there's going to be that aspect, and then also they have where they themselves appreciate that they have their foreskins and that they enjoy it in their boyfriend or husband or in each other. And so that's going to be so that is like an underlying theme in the story. In some of my books it's more present than others less. But I think it's something that even if that's not an aspect that someone's really that interested in, the story overall is still something they're going to enjoy and appreciate. But I think this is still an important message of keeping the body as it was created with all of its parts.
Right.
And so I try to present that. A Song for Mary, I don't really talk so much about circumcision, but the characters have their foreskin, and so they make a comment about how much they appreciate it and enjoy it. So that's kind of where that is. So that is a theme through the story.
Now let me ask you this. Of course, you have at least 3 publications out. We don't want to get stuck on one because I'm going to congest the people with mind-boggling information that won't allow them to understand completely some of the breakdown. Because right now, I'm probably confusing a few people because they might get the impression that what you're speaking about in some areas may be focused in this particular book that is your current publication, and I don't want that. I want them to be able to break it down and understand each particular publication so that they could go out and, if it's a desire of their heart, to purchase and support you as an author and the publications. Of course, we want them to do so. And you said something very important that I always stress before I allow authors to leave. We want you to show your love, care, concern, and support. Purchase the publications. Make sure you share it with all of your followers, your family, your friends. But by all means, we always encourage you to leave a review. Leave a review. It is so important. It's important for Sam, the author. It's important for Amazon. It's important for me. It's important for those individuals that are on the outside looking in. They want to know what you think, how you feel, what you suggest and or recommend. And you got the stars. Give it the 5 star. Give it the 1 star. But make sure you leave a review. It's so important. I mean, and of course, and it also, gives you a little, weight on Amazon. You can kind of flex yourself a little bit, when you're up there in the Amazon ratings and rankings. So it's always important. But I don't want to get in detail about each particular book because I want to have and draw an interest in individuals when we speak on the other particular publications. Now, I know you mentioned 2 of the publications. I know you have a 3rd one. And I just want you to at least give us the title, that it's also available. But I don't want you to get into detail yet because I want to invite you back. And I want you to be able to break down, focus, and discuss that particular publication. And if I'm not mistaken, in the very near future, we're going to be hopefully, if it's okay with you and we can work out the details, we're going to be inviting a few people in to make some, to, I guess, ask some questions via the phone line. Because people want to know. Some people want to know openly and publicly. Others want to know kind of, privately. So if I open the phone line and allow a few questions to come in the very near future, it's something that will boost the interest of that particular publication, and it also will boost your you as an author. So it's something we'll discuss a little bit later. But in the meantime, at least tell us a little bit, just about the other publication that you have available. But don't get into detail, Sam, because I want them to come back when you get ready to talk specifically about this book. Okay.
Okay, sure. Yeah, no, I get a little excited. The books, after you've spent so much time on them, they kind of become your baby. So, but this 3rd one that I'm going to mention here is called The Skin in the Game: The Hooded Warrior Spy. This one is a World War II spy story. It's not really focused on the war. It's about the people. The war is kind of the setting. Again, it is a gay romance, a love story set in this period of intrigue, but in Germany, with an American spy. So that's basically the broad details of that one.
Love it. So. Perfect. And that was perfect because now it has garnered the interest. And of course, again, we're going to be touching base with you. And I mean, if it's something that you are, more than willing to do, we're going to do it. We're going to work out some details and make it happen. Don't want to cross the line. Don't want to ask you to do anything that you are not interested in. Because I'm going to say this. In order to get certain information out, in order to let people know, in order to get the support from them, you got to let them know that it's out there. You got to let them know that it exists, and you can't be one-dimensional with that. I'm not going to be trying to dig all deep in your pocket to make sure you spend thousands of dollars to do this, that, and the other. No, but you're going to have to make some small, slight investment in yourself, and this is you personally, in order to get this information out, because there is some interest in these publications that you have, and I know for a fact that there's a lot of people who will embrace this, but they don't want to do it the way you have. I take my hat off to you. I am honored to have you here. I'm grateful that you have made the decision to become a part of our broadcast family, because you're stepping up. And let me tell you this, it may not seem like it to a lot, but you're really stepping up and stepping out on faith. It's not some Christian faith-based book or anything like that. I'm not supposing you as a Christian individual, but I'm saying you're doing something that a lot of people wouldn't have the courage to do. And to me, courage is faith. Faith is courage. Step up and say, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. Let's see if you are willing to embrace who you are and show your support. It's that simple. And I am honored to have you here. I'm honored to be the one who just made history with you. I know time is of the essence on some of our other broadcast platforms. That was another reason, because on the Roku channel, we had up to 30 minutes, and he's holding me tight. But I want to make sure that we are allowed to at least get the information necessary on how they could purchase your books, and also how you can be reached on a more individual basis to discuss in detail about your publications, what your plans are, maybe some book signings and so on. So why don't you do this for me? Share the information when it comes to how your books can be purchased, and then follow that up with how it is that someone could reach out to you and connect with you on a more individual basis. Okay?
Okay. First of all, the easiest way to purchase them is through Amazon. You can click on the link that has been shown here on the featured authors page. That'll take you to the Amazon link. Or if you go to Amazon directly and you type in my name, these books will come up. The other way to reach me personally, to ask questions or make comments, is I have an author page on Facebook. So if you go to Facebook, and then it's Sam Carnes, capital SAM, capital CARNES, capital AUTHOR, Sam Carnes author, is what I have as the page. And that is where I post about what I'm working on and what's coming up and things like that. And that is also the best way for people to leave a comment about my book, or to send me a message through that page. And I love hearing people's thoughts and everything as they're, some people, as they're reading the book, they'll say, hey, I'm up to this part, or I'm up to that part. And I love hearing things like that. It gets me excited that people are enjoying it.
I know that's right. You know what? I know that is something that would get me excited as well. I tell you, I believe that. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, coming soon, I have a special collage book trailer that I have put together for Sam, that I'll be releasing soon, and very soon. Surprise, surprise. So I'm going to let people know that I'm just about complete with it. It's going to be airing consistently here on the GMAP Radio TV Broadcast Network. Also, Comcast and our partners over at Roku has agreed to air it on a consistent basis as well. So we thank God for them. We're going to try to continue to make sure that, hey, if you want to do this for a living because you're doing it because you love it, and you love it because you're doing it, you're going to end up doing it somehow, some way. But you got to step out. You got to take chances, and you got to put it out there, because how is anyone else going to embrace it if they don't know it exists? So with that being said, I just want to really show my gratitude for you being here today, show my appreciation for you accepting the invitation, and continuing. We're going to continue this conversation hopefully in a week or so, to be able to discuss in detail another one of your publications that you have. And I'm very interested in the one that you were already discussing, but I know that there are some questions. And for those individuals that may have questions, I want to encourage you. Reach out to Sam, reach out to myself, reach out to the network. Let us hear from you, because we want to present those questions to him personally and have those questions be answered, so you can know, if it's your interest and it's something that, gets your attention, we want you to at least have an idea of the direction, of the resource, of the feeling that you should embrace once you receive the answer to those questions. With that being said, Sam, I thank you so much for being here. I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to talk to you more in detail about what we can do in the very near future. But until then, continue to have a fantabulous rest of your evening. Be blessed and be a blessing. And, of course, we're going to get together again soon and invite you back so we can let the world know about a couple of more of your publications, okay?
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And we appreciate you as well. You take care. Have a great evening. And we'll look forward to talking to you soon, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes, one of our featured authors on the GMAP Radio TV Broadcast Network, Sam Carnes, one of our featured authors. Once again, stop by our platform, gmap1.com, and simply click on the tab that is titled Featured Authors. You'll see a copy of not one, not two, but all three of his publications there currently. Show your love, care, concern, and support. Click on the copies. It will take you to the necessary location to find out all the intimate information and details about the author as well as the publications. And, of course, make sure you share it with all of your family, your followers, your friends. And when you do show your support, don't forget, as we said before, please leave a review. I can't stress that enough. Please leave a review. In the meantime, thank you so much for being here. Got some more stuff coming up soon here on the number one station in the nation, GMAP Radio TV Broadcast Network. Until then, peace, God bless you, take care, take it easy, and, well, if it's good to you, take it twice. We'll see you soon. Stay close, don't move, keep it locked. We got more stuff on the way right here, and I am on